When I went to the cafeteria to carry water for the school sports meeting the next day, I saw Xiao Mei and Xiao Cheng eating. I heard that the two were locked up in the psychiatric department overnight, and in the end, the school came forward to bail them out. The class leader quietly leaned into my ear and complained, saw that they were quite normal before, why did they suddenly get sick? Last night, Xiao Mei called all the classmates in the class, saying that she is the richest man in the future, as long as she scrapes together 500 yuan to redeem herself now, she will pay it back 100 times after 10 years. This is even more outrageous than the last time Qin Shi Huang called me to make me a general. I squirted out a mouthful of water, and it turned out that there were more victims than I expected. Last night, my dad and the manager of the company who could be named received a call from Xiaomei, who said that she had a cooperative project in her hand to ensure that she would make a fortune, as long as she was fished out of the psychiatric department. Scared, my dad held an emergency meeting in the morning with Panda Eyes, speculating whether it was a hacker who leaked company secrets, otherwise how could there be a neurotic call on their internal phone? You can't really blame Xiaomei for this, she has been an orphan since she was a child and has no relatives to rely on. Finally had a little bamboo horse, and the bamboo horse's mother was still a gambler. The two of them didn't have a penny on them, of course, they had to focus on the people around me. In this life, I didn't want to have anything to do with them anymore, and I wanted to leave but was stopped by the squad leader excitedly and motioned for me to continue watching the play. Xiaomei is sick again. She held the orange juice in her hand and shook it like red wine. Looking at the steak in front of him, the corners of his mouth hooked up a sneering arc. This kind of garbage is also worthy of being called food? Dogs won't eat it if it's thrown on the ground. Fujimai, I know you don't look down on this kind of cheap stuff, but you've been hungry for a day, so you might as well eat some. Xiaomei snorted coldly, even if you starve to death, this kind of garbage is not worthy of me of the stomach. The owner of the canteen who fried the steak was a hot temper, and he slashed at the vegetable mound. You two used a coupon to order the cheapest steak from me, let me send an extra pasta, forget it, and pick and choose, you can eat it or not. What kind of identity do you dare to talk to me like this? Believe it or not, a phone call from me can shut down your store. Xiao Cheng anxiously persuaded her beside her, don't be like this, it's not easy for them to have a small business. The squad leader, who watched the whole play, pinched his thighs violently, but he still couldn't hold back his laughter. This smile doesn't matter, it successfully attracted Xiaomei's attention. The moment she looked at me, the hairs on her arms stood on end. I didn't even have time to move the mineral water and ran away, but unfortunately I still didn't escape, and I was blocked by Xiaomei at the end of the corridor with red eyes and pinching my waist. Gu Yan, you can't afford to anger me. I was speechless and looked at the sky, what kind of sin did I create, and I had to suffer this kind of inhuman torture? Why, you were jealous when you saw me with Xiao Cheng. Come up with this way to take revenge on me, Gu Yan, you have a little ability. But I advise you to save your money and put away those little tricks that seduce me. I have made a private agreement with Xiao Cheng for life, and it is absolutely impossible to be with you. In the future, stay away from the two of us, and let me find out that you have deviant intentions, and I will not let you go. I tried to think back to how I liked Xiaomei in my previous life. At that time, I thought Xiaomei was a little beautiful, but now I find that she is really not a normal woman.